Hi, my name is Brittany Crocker, and I am part of the Masters of Education Instructional Technology program at Kennesaw State University. For this presentation, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my capstone project and how we came to develop the topic, the project plan, the implementation, and the evaluation of the capstone. For my title of the capstone project, it is Online Professional Learning Communities, or PLCs, as Effective Professional Development. This project took place at East Paulding High School, and based on one of the primary goals of the East Paulding High School School Improvement Plan for 2015-2016, this project intended to strengthen the levels of collaboration between teachers at the school to develop understanding of lessons that would increase student engagement and rigor. The primary need for this project was to provide effective professional development for teachers on understanding what rigor is and what student engagement is, and increasing both of these in their classrooms. In an article titled Strategic Planning for Academic Rigor, the author found that many teachers are under the impression that they are using rigorous learning activities in their classroom when they are actually not. This is a similar issue at East Paulding High School, and since the expectations of a rigorous classroom are not explicitly clear, teachers come to think that they are using higher order thinking when they're actually only reaching lower levels. An additional need of this project is to address improving teacher attitudes towards professional learning at East Paulding High School. So the idea behind the creation of the PLCs comes from a study by Page, Sizemore, and Neese. This study argues that cognitive rigor is based on increasing students' critical thinking skills, and they express that this is directly related to increased student engagement. Within the study, researchers are questioning the relationship between the percentage of students engaged with instruction and cognitive rigor. Participants in this study are part of PLCs, they're teachers, and they collaborate with other teachers to learn valuable resources to help increase rigor and student engagement in their classrooms. The intention of this project was to develop a similar PLC where the teachers at East Paulding participate in collaboration to increase their knowledge of pedagogy and best practices. Up to this point, teachers in my school have been very dissatisfied with their professional development, and many teachers who currently do not participate in collaboration are interested and they want to learn more, but they feel like there needs to be a new professional development program put into place. So here is the project plan for our capstone. In July of 2016, the faculty began using Canvas to participate in the online PLCs. The first activity in the project was the selection of facilitators that were going to lead these PLC groups. So the department heads met with the administration team to identify strengths within the department and nominated a facilitator who was a willing participant in leading and monitoring the progress of the PLC groups. These facilitators worked with members of the administration team, Chrissy Ragsdale, who is the professional development and evaluation coordinator, and then Brittany Crocker, who is myself, part of the instructional technology team. So we worked together during pre-planning to prepare these facilitators for their upcoming role. So during the first meeting of the first week of school, the facilitators explained what the purpose of the PLC was and the learning topics to the teachers and how they would participate during the online meetings for Canvas. After this first meeting, the teachers completed the first project activity, which was the pre-assessment, and this was to determine their feelings about experiences with professional development. So the data was compiled and evaluated from this survey and evaluated by the professional development coordinator and the instructional technology specialist to determine a baseline for understanding these teacher attitudes towards professional development and then helping us to create an effective PLC moving forward. Teachers were separated by departments in the PLCs, and each department was paired with another department of similar standards. So each group was approximately anywhere from 10 to 20 people, give or take a few. So within each PLC, there were 2 designated facilitators, and they worked together to establish and monitor the online portion of the PLC on Canvas. These facilitators were provided resources by the administration team and the instructional technology specialist, and they loaded the resources into a discussion board topic on Canvas. And each module was going to be available for 2 weeks online for teachers to participate. Requirements for each module ask that members read a resource, a situation, or an article and post an original response to a discussion. And then they had to respond to 3 members of their PLC to hopefully facilitate some questioning, some discussion, and really get these people collaborating and communicating. So after completing 2 modules, which took about a month, PLC members met face-to-face as groups to discuss the resources and best practices they had been examining over the course of the month. So the proposal for this project called for 14 online meetings and 4 face-to-face meetings per semester. However, we determined that this was just too overwhelming and too much to get done in this amount of time. So what we did was we extended the face-to-face meetings and the online modules to be 1 per month. So there were a total of 4 per semester, which was a little bit more realistic for our teachers and for our facilitators. And then throughout the school year, leaders conducted their regular TEKS evaluations to identify the strengths and weaknesses of teachers. And then at the culmination of this project, teachers completed the same exact survey as a post-assessment, and we compiled data and analyzed these surveys and evaluations to determine the effectiveness of the capstone project. So for the evaluation plan, part of this program was to determine, is this professional development, the online portion, effective for teachers? Will it help improve their attitudes towards professional development? And then also, does it help to increase student engagement and rigor in the classroom? So the purpose of the pre-survey was to gain a sense of teacher perception of the principals, staff, and stakeholders in relation to professional learning. The questionnaire was separated into 3 sections: shared and supportive leadership, shared vision and values, and collective learning and application. In the shared and supportive leadership category, pre-survey data showed that slightly more than half of teachers at East Paulding felt that they were not actively involved in decision-making regarding school issues. In the shared vision and values, it was evident that teachers felt like the professional development had been lacking in shared values and collaborative processes to establish goals, policies, and programs. In the third section, collective learning and application, teachers felt like the professional development was vastly lacking in opportunities to build relationships and work collaboratively to enhance student learning. Overall, just from reading these pre-survey results, it is abundantly clear that teachers feel like the professional development at East Paulding needed a major overhaul, which was the goal of this project. So we continued to move forward. As part of the capstone experience and results, the culmination of this project, teachers took the same exact questionnaire to determine if their feelings changed after participating in the online PLCs. So according to the post-survey results, there was an increase in teachers' confidence regarding the participation in making decisions regarding student learning and school issues. It is apparent that many teachers still feel like principals and administrators hold the majority of power and authority in the school, but more teachers have started to become open-minded about stepping into those teacher leader roles and not looking to leadership to make decisions. In the shared vision and values category, only a little over half of the teachers at East Paulding believe that the school vision is shared between leadership, teachers, and stakeholders. So obviously, since that did not have a large change, that's going to be something that's discussed between the principal and administration, and we're going to develop a plan to create a greater shared vision and values and improve the teachers' attitudes in this area. The third section, collective learning and application, showed the most growth during this project, and from Examining all of this data, it was apparent staff felt that there was a true increase in opportunities for them to work together, where they were able to seek new knowledge and learn new strategies to meet the needs of their learners. So, based on this survey data, informal conversations between teachers, and the TEKS evaluations, we believe this project was successful, and we will continue to implement it with minor changes throughout the following school year. So, reflecting on this project, we discussed that this was truly a significant project. It was successful, and some of the things that we felt were most important were that teachers' feelings towards professional development improved. It was definitely one of the goals. Teachers are regularly integrating resources and strategies to improve their classroom instruction and professional or in personal learning. So they're participating in professional development. They're also seeking out best practices and research to improve their teaching. There is a strengthened level of collaboration between content teachers. And now more professional learning opportunities are provided so that teachers can develop a deeper understanding of what student engagement is and what rigor is. So throughout this project, even though it was successful, I will continue to reflect on the practices that we went through, the implementation of this project, and I will definitely look for areas where there is necessary improvements that need to be made. Some of the references from this presentation were May, Hitting the Mark, Strategic Planning for Academic Rigor, and Page, Sizemore, and Neese, and they were working inside the box, exploring the relationship between student engagement and cognitive rigor. And that is my capstone project. Thank you for listening.